So we're out here at the 3600 block of Rio Loma Way, where we had a 2-story structure fire. When crews arrived, they had heavy fire conditions from not only the first floor, but the second floor. Tried to push in, make entry, very difficult firefight. Upstairs, there's exposed joists on the ground, very spongy floors, so access was very difficult, especially trying to make it up that second floor on the interior stairwell. We have located a body at this point in the back of the house, possibly came from the second floor all the way down. There was reports of an elderly female inside. We're unable to determine the sex of this individual at this point, just because of the damage to the body. But there was an overhang in the backyard that ended up burning up and collapsing back there. That's potentially where the body is located at this point. We have investigators en route to determine the cause and origin the best that they can. Like I said, there's extensive damage throughout this house. The garage is still pretty well intact, but the rest of the house is very, very severely burned. So we're just waiting on those investigators right now, checking for hot spots to make sure we have this fire extinguished. Multiple hose lines were deployed. We try to get it from the back side of the house, making a transitional attack, meaning that we're going to be fighting fire from the ground instead of moving those hose lines inside, just so we can knock down some of that fire to make access interiorly. So very heavy firefight for our crews tonight. So it's going to be something that our investigators really need to look into if there was any type of possible accelerant used in this. But reports from neighbors state that there is just one individual, an elderly female, that lives in this house alone. So we're thinking at that point that this is just the lone victim inside, but we still need to make identification of the body and next of kin notifications as well. They did not report any type of hoarding conditions. There was no construction that was reported, but the construction portion of that, it's going to be very difficult to tell during the firefight. It's going to be boots on the ground inside once it's knocked down to actually determine if there was any exposed studs or anything like that that would contribute to the heavy fire load. There's a lot of contributing factors that we need to take into account on this one. So I think the only safety message is have working smoke detectors. That's something that maybe could have alerted this individual to get out a little bit quicker, but we don't even know if there were smoke detectors inside just because of the extensive damage. As far as the SoCal fires go, any type of wildland-urban interface that we encounter within the city is really determined by the heat that's outside, the relative humidity, and most importantly, the wind factor. We're not experiencing any high winds around the Sacramento area, so the spread of this fire was contained to the just single occupancy, but that is a concern of ours that we always think when we have such heavy fire conditions. We want to make sure that we do have hose lines in place to take care of the exposures, as we call them, or the buildings next door. So that's something that we always have to take into account, but we're not experiencing any heavy wind events like they are in Southern California, so nothing to worry about on the local front.